save 20% off Truck Stop Load Board Pro for 6 months. The best tool for serious carriers. Don't miss out. Click the link in the description to get 20% off Load Board Pro for 6 months. Need capital to grow your business or cover unexpected expenses? Rock Financial has your back. Whether you're looking for a flexible line of credit, a fast cash advance, or tailored working capital solutions, Rock Financial makes it simple to get funded, often in as little as 24 hours. No hidden fees, an easy application, and real support from people who know the business. Ready to take your hustle to the next level? Tap the link in the description to get started with Rock Financial today. Wish insurance was this easy? With LogRock, it's like magic. Real coverage appears when you need it. No tricks. Get covered now. Click the link in the description.
Warning: the following content contains strong language and may not be suitable for children. This content is primarily for adults, as this is a trucking channel and truckers have filthy mouths. Please don't tweak if I say. Viewer discretion is advised.
What's up? Come on in. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on all post notifications. How's everybody doing? Come on in. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on post notifications. I've been trying some different stuff the past couple live streams, just to see something. If you notice, no intro music. Haven't been doing intro music, and I've been doing that purposely. Because I kind of want to accelerate things. I want to cut things down. I know it takes time for YouTube to send the notifications out. Lately, it doesn't seem like they're sending them out, so it don't even make sense to waste time with intro music if they're not going to send the notifications out. So we just going to get straight into it. How everybody's doing? How's everybody doing? Come on in. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. Shout out to Paul Smith, representing Jersey in the building. Paul Smith said we can't not go live all week, then go live at 1 a.m. Come on, man. You talk because the last live I went, it was late. See, that's the thing, man. I'm unorthodox, man. You know, I be trying to have these scheduled shows, and I remember when I used to do scheduled shows. I did the Tuesday show back in the day, every Tuesday. We did the every Thursday show. We started doing the Sunday show, which, you know, we still do the Sunday show, which is the call-in show. And then we was doing the Monday show, which was the Wiseman show. But that's a big commitment. And man, when I was doing those scheduled shows, it was things that was coming up that I had to decline because I was already committed to, you know, these shows. What has happened over the course of 3 years and 3 months? So let's say 39 months since I've been doing content is I realized that, you know, committing to a certain time frame in this niche is just not I don't have to do it. At the point where I'm at, I just don't have to do it. If I go live, the people who want to be here, they'll be here. If YouTube sends the notifications out, the people that don't. You know, when you do a dedicated time, it is good. But where we are now in this space in comparison to where we were 2.5, 3 years, it's a totally different, you know, it's just different. So I'm definitely not committing to no specific time frame in the summertime. But that 1 o'clock show, you know, believe it or not, if you watched it, it did relatively good. For it to be 1 a.m, I had like 70 people in here, you know, which is very, very good to just a random live in the middle of the night. So, and you know how we do it over here, man. It's unorthodox, man. You dig what I'm saying? It's unorthodox over here. Shout out to Shark Life. Shout out to all the MGM members. Shout out to Miller Company Hustle representing Denver in the building. Shout out to Pippi. Shout out to all the models. Who else we got? Shout out to 608. Everybody's been talking about YouTube. It just ain't me. It ain't even just a space. I've watched larger content creators. I've seen their subscribers, you know, say it in the chat. I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but I've heard people tell me that they got the notification an hour late. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I'm not worried about it. We're gonna do what we got to do, whether it's 10 people or whether it's 110 people. Um, what I do notice is that the longer I'm on, then YouTube sends out the notifications. It is what it is. People can watch the replay. I'm just gonna get my content out while it's fresh, while I got the idea, while it's on my brain. And then we're gonna go for there. Shout out to Sage. Come on in. Shout out to everybody. I think Sage, you sent me a few emails. You sent me a few emails. I gotta respond to them. I did get the emails. I think I was in the midst of responding to one, and then I got pulled away, so it's sitting there in my draft. But I did get them, so I am in the process of responding to them. All right, so make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. Come on in. Let's get to it. I'm not gonna waste no time. Let me get my screens here because I don't be streaming that much no more, man. My shit be all out of whack, man. They be doing updates and stuff. But by the time I stream again, I'll be having to rearrange stuff. All right, give me a second. Let me pull this up because all right, boom. All right, let's get straight into it because I don't want to be here too much. Maybe hour and a half, 2 hours at the most because I gotta hit the gym. Feelings. All right, this is something that's been a hot topic. Well, at least on my channel, this is something that I know me and Kirk, we recently talked about it on the channel. We touched on it briefly in a segment. It's some stuff that I clipped revolving around that. That $5,000 live video still hurting people's feelings. We reacted recently, and that last Wiseman from about 2 weeks ago from content creators, literally crying tears, bawling tears on the internet because they came into something and they didn't have a full understanding of what they was getting themselves into, and they letting their emotions get the best of them. And I'm always the person who tells people, and I've been telling people since day one when I came into content creation, and it gets met with celebration, right? And then it gets met with flack. All right. Obviously, the people that celebrate understand the landscape of business. They understand it's competitive, and they get their emotions and their feelings out the equation because having that in business is ultimately going to lead you one place. The F word, I'm not going to say it because there are people out here that when you say that word, they get in their feelings, right? And then the other people that understand it, 9 times out of 10, they see success. So today I want to talk about feelings and how they hinder a lot of people, why they're hindering people today, and how they're a contributing factor to why a lot of people just don't get ahead today. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. Come on in, come on in, come on in. So, all right, let's get it straight. Business don't care about your feelings. I've said this a million and one times. I've went to the extreme of saying some things that people consider harsh. F them kids, F your family. You know what I'm saying? People think when I say this, I'm speaking from a personal perspective, but I'm gonna help you guys to understand some shit today. All right. Business doesn't care about your feelings. I want you to understand that. The business doesn't care about your feelings. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. All right? Hit the like button. Come on in, hit the like button. All right? We accelerating it today. All right? Business don't care about your feelings. All right? Your business doesn't care about your personal feelings. The business that you started does not care about your personal feelings. All right? Other people's businesses don't care about your personal feelings. Your competitors' businesses don't care about your personal feelings. The businesses that you patronize, in most aspects, don't care about your personal feelings. Business doesn't care about your feelings. Business doesn't have feelings. A business is not human. The only thing a business wants to do is make money. That's it, and that's all. It's simple. People make it hard. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if you're sad. It doesn't care if you're stressed. It doesn't care if you had a death in the family. It don't care if you're emotionally stressed. It doesn't care about none of that shit. The bottom line is the bottom line. That's just what it is. The world is softer now than ever before, at least in my lifetime. In my lifetime, this is the softest I've seen the world, and it's getting softer. I wasn't born in a soft era, right? The 80s wasn't soft. The 90s wasn't soft. Right around the mid 2000s, you start to see things change, and the 2010s came, and then the 20, I don't know, it's like we was going in a soft direction, and then when the pandemic came, that just accelerated the softness until what we have today. You know what I'm saying? So the world is just softer, and and this soft shit is destroying people's ability to win. It's like you can't say certain shit, you can't do certain shit. People take shit out of context. People want you to feel the way they feel. All this shit today is just soft. I wasn't brought up this type of way. I don't understand it. I really don't care. All right. But a lot of the people that are coming into business today, whether they are part of the new generation, I even see people that are older millennials. I see older millennials. I see late Gen X's that come into business that get caught up in this new way of thinking, this new mindset, and they come into business and they soft, and then they want you to be compassionate and empathetic about their personal shit when it comes to business, and that's not the case, bro. It's just not the case. The bottom line is the bottom line. You get too emotionally invested. I see people do it even with this content creation. For instance, I say F them kids. Kirk says it all the time. Mark, he laughs. When he calls me on the phone, he laughs. Because people, when I say it, they think I'm talking about their kids. But the people that think I'm talking about their kids, these are the actual people that are struggling. Because they can't even decipher an analogy correctly. Because they're too emotionally caught up in the verbiage to sit back and understand what's being said. Because what I'm saying, if they're doing what they're supposed to do, then they're taking food out of other people's mouth. If we're competing and there can only be one winner, that means the winner, the revenue is going into their household, and the loser, that's revenue that's coming from their household. If I'm sitting at a truck stop and you're sitting at a truck stop and we're trying to find a load to get out of the same place, and time is ticking, the day is almost over with, you know you got about a short period of time to find a load, or else you're going to be sitting there another day. The longer you sit, the more money you losing. So now if this person beats you, whether they beat you profitably, or if they beat you at a loss, the point of the matter is they took it. It's revenue coming out your pocket. Now you sitting, they gone. If they beat you profitably, that's revenue going into their household. If you got a family at the kid, that's revenue coming out of their mouths. But people think I'm saying like after they kids, like I personally care. No. If I'm the guy that's competing and we're racing against the clock for an opportunity and I beat you, personally, I'm saying that because guess what? The same dynamic that you have in your household, I have that in my household. So when I have to think about it from a business perspective, my household or your household, I'm always going to choose my household. I care more about me than I care about you. So when people argue this shit, it's asinine to me. I care more about me than I care about you. I may care about your well-being. But if it's going to be me or you, it's going to be me 100% of the time, baby. So when people get upset, you in your feelings. You looking at it from a personal perspective. I'm looking at it from a business perspective. You should be looking at it the exact same way I'm looking at it. If it's me and you, you should always care about yourself more than you care about anybody else. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. I'm not talking about you personally. I don't really care about you. You're too emotionally caught up. You treat the business, and you should, like your baby, right? I always say the business, when you birth a business, when you create a business, is like, birthing a baby, right? But the problem where a lot of people mess up is they expect this baby to love them back. That's wrong. See, when I give you the analogy of treat your business like raising a child, once you start the business, it's like you giving birth to the baby and then you raise it, right? You raise your child so it could go out in the world and be successful. And then one day when you get old, it can come back and take care of you. You might get old and sickly. The baby might have to come, your child might have to come back and wipe your ass one day. You never know. Some people get old and their kids, they bred their kids out to be successful, and they might have to come back and take care of them financially. Same thing with the business. When you build a business, you're going to instill everything you need to instill in the business. So ultimately, it can take care of you financially from a financial perspective. The difference in that analogy is when you actually do have a real child, that child 9 times out of 10 is going to love you back. It's not that analogy falls short right there. The business ain't going to love you back. The business is greedy, it's selfish, it only cares about revenue. That's it. That's all. Money. It's a machine. It doesn't have any feelings. There's no feelings attached to a business. You have feelings. The business doesn't. It's designed to make money. That's it, and that's all. I ask a question. It's a trick question. I just want to see how people respond. Why you start a business? There's only one answer. I want to make money. People coming with this dumb bull crap. Man, I want to build generational. Man, I just want to provide opportunities. Cut it. Cut it. Bow. Cut it. You want to make money. It's designed to make money. It's not designed to hug you at night and cuddle and spoon with you and wipe your tears away. That's not what the business is there for. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. We got 30, 40 people in here. We ain't got 10 likes. Jesus Christ, bro. It's designed to make money. It's not designed to hug you. It's not designed to wipe your tears away. It's just not going to spoon with you. It's not going to do none of that. Now, I get people in my comments every week. Every single week. Actually, I had a lady in my comments today. And it was in the live stream that me and Kurt did, but I did a clip where I was doing the F them kids. And she came into my comments. I think I got it right here. I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to pull it up for you right here. Let's see. It's right here. Now, this is a woman. And I'm gonna touch on this a little bit too. But give me a sec. I'm gonna touch on this. She said you can be compassionate with a boundary. Being compassionate isn't about being a pushover. It's about actually being in the human experience. You can sympathize and still decline what doesn't meet your boundary needs. Now here's my response. Keyword you said is you. People have compassion. Business does not. Now, this is a woman, and I'm going to touch on women in a minute. I got a special spot for women in this lecture, and I'm going to touch on it in a minute. Just give me a second. You can be compassionate all you want as a human being because you're a human and you have feelings. You have these feelings that God gave you, but a business does not have these feelings. A lot of people think a business is supposed to have the feelings of a human, and it absolutely positively does not. For instance, the mortgage company. Does the mortgage company care that you lost your job, you got behind on your bills, you got 2 or 3 kids, and you're a good person? You didn't get behind because you spent the money frivolously. You didn't get behind because you misappropriated the money. You did everything right. You just fell on hard times. There's plenty of people in the world that just fall on hard times. They didn't do anything wrong, right? At the end of the day, after about 8-9 months, the bank is going to start that foreclosure process. You can beg and plead with whoever that is from the bank that's calling you trying to get those late payments. For those 8-9 months before they file for that foreclosure, before those foreclosure proceedings start, the person that you talk to on the phone that you telling all your business to, they may have some type of feeling, but at the end of the day, they still got a job to do. The bank don't give no goddamn. It's people that do that type of shit that absolutely hate what they do, but they have to do it. The reason why they hate what they do is because of the feeling that's attached. They hear some of the probably worst stories. You got some of those people that probably cry when they hang up some of those phone calls. But at the end of the day, they have to do what they have to do because they have to put food on their table, right? The person in the business that they work for, which is the bank, they don't care at all. That same bank that took that house from that single mother who did have a good job, who once could afford that house, that has 2 or 3 kids, simultaneously, while they're in the process of taking that house, they taking a Honda minivan, soccer mom van from another single mother who did everything right, got behind on their payments because they lost their job. They hit unforeseen situations, unforeseen circumstances that were beyond their control. And once they got 3 months behind, the repossession process starts. The bank agent or representative is calling, trying to get the payment, and they're telling them this sad story, thinking that that's going to weigh them some favor. At the end of the day, it doesn't. That bank teller or that bank agent who's calling, they may feel some type of way when they taking these phone calls. A lot of them become desensitized to it. But the person or the entity, I should say, that employs them has no feelings. Listen, you sign this paper, which is technically a promissory note. You promise to pay. For whatever reason, you've gotten behind, and you've gotten so far behind now that we have to start the procedure of repossessing the vehicle. We get what you're saying. Trust me, we get it. We've heard it before. You ain't the only person that's done lost your job. You ain't the only person who went through a rough divorce and you lost half of your assets. You ain't the first person who, got behind, they cut your hours and you couldn't afford to pay insurance. And before we realized that you stopped paying insurance so we could add it to your note, you got into a terrible accident. And now the vehicle was uninsured and you still owe us on it. And it's not drivable anymore, and you feel like you don't, whatever the case may be, trust me, they done heard it all. At the end of the day, ain't no feelings associated with it. They gonna come get that car. We in the trucking industry. How many people have gotten their trucks repossessed? You know how many people that have come to me in private? See, these ain't the people that come up on the call-in show that have gotten their truck repossessed. Some have come up to tell their story. Some have come to me privately and asked for help in retrieving. I've had people DM me and ask me for loans. Do you think the finance company, whether it be Topmark or whoever was the third party lender or the private lender that they went to and they signed this deal that they signed in 2021 and 2022, care about the fact that the market corrected itself and that what they thought they could afford to pay at that time and the deal that they did give them at that time, that they no longer can afford to pay it because the market corrected itself and they were ignorant and they didn't understand the landscape of this industry, and that they thought that they could go out and get $4 and $5 a mile, or somebody told them, as long as you get $2 a mile, you'll be good. And there's always going to be $2 a mile because their favorite content creator said trucking is an $800 million industry at that particular time during the pandemic or when they came in. And there's always going to be plenty of freight. Just look around. Look around. Everything that you got, it came on a truck. So they had this ignorant mindset that, yeah, everything came on the truck. So I'm always going to make money. And then they came in and now they can't figure out what to do. The loads ain't loading. The board ain't boarding. The pay ain't paying to them. And now they done got behind. And now top market, whoever coming to get that truck. Man, they don't care about none of that. Man, fuck your feelings. Oh, we got to cuss. I said, man, Mark, don't cuss on this one. We got to, because you got to understand what's going on around here. I think some people ain't really came from no struggle. That's like when I hear people, these content creators tell people to go out and get new trucks. That shit, it pisses me off. You telling a person to go get something that 9 times out of 10 they're not going to be able to afford, because they're not going to understand the landscape of this business to be able to compete and be successful enough to even cover the cost of that note. That's why I say go out and buy older used equipment, take a mechanic with you, because it'll help you, right? It'll help you throughout the learning curve as far as alleviating a lot of that high overhead cost while you learn the business. But I have content creators that think they know it all that's really probably not really doing well themselves. Tell a person to go out and buy a new fucking truck. And then when these people fail, they come to me to go out these people. And I'm like, no, you go out them yourself, because you believe that dumb shit. It was a guy who was trolling me for a while when I was doing the roadie content, right? And he just used to always make fun of the truck. And I'm like, bro, I bought this truck over a decade ago. This truck has made me hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm thinking this dude is in trucking. Lo and behold, I found out through the grapevine, this motherfucker ain't even in, he don't even got a truck. This dude is driving for Amazon Relay for somebody else. He ain't even, he trying to get in. Talking about this truck is old. This truck is sitting making money, not doing nothing. I can afford to have it sit. You still trying to figure out. This is the type of mindset of a loser. Because I'm saying something that you're not necessarily agreeing with. You have to find a way to combat it, because you in your feelings, because you don't understand the landscape of the business. Saying you sitting up there and shutting up and being quiet and listen to the OG talk and give you some game so that you can win. You want to get in your feelings, because I'm telling you something that it contrasts with what your favorite person is saying, because they're selling you a dream of false hope. And I'm telling you what reality is. Reality is, man, the shit that Buddy and them over there telling you ain't what it is. It's the complete opposite. Your business, my business, your competitor's business, the businesses that you rely on to get freight, move freight, none of these businesses care anything about you and your personal plight. You think a business has your best interest and you doing a little business together until another company said they can come do it cheaper, and then they're going to show you how much they care about you personally. They're going to stop picking up the phone for your punk ass. And then when they finally do pick up the phone by mistake, hey man, why you stop using it? Yeah, because we found a competitor that can do what you was doing a little bit cheaper. Man, I thought we was good. Hey man, business ain't good, man. It's business. What are we talking about, bro? So I don't understand what she's talking about. I understand business. Now let's break down compassion as a person. Because I think a lot of people, when I say these things and when I see people's actions, they haven't deciphered, they haven't separated themselves, right? You have to be two people in business. You have to be that human part, that person, but then also you have to be a business person. The notifications starting to go out. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Let's talk about compassion. I see everybody coming in. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Let's talk about compassion as a person. Yes, as a person, we're all human. You can show empathy, right? You can, when there's a death in the family, or let's say when your employee is going through it. But as a business owner, you can't let those decisions cloud. You can't let those things, I should say, cloud your decision making as it pertains to the business. Now I'm gonna give you an example. See, the beauty about my channel and having many, many years of experience is I got a lot of stories. And depending on what I'm talking about, I try to pull from my experience, right? Let me tell you something about a real, and I've never told this story on the channel because it up until now, I didn't have a reason to tell this story. I had a guy, and this is a true story. I swear for God. I had a guy who worked for me. He was out. It was in the summer, maybe 2015, 2016. I can't remember the year. It was a while ago. He was doing Office Depot for me. He was on his route. He called the office. He asked to speak to me. I remember it like it was yesterday. This is one of those situations that you'll never forget. My brother put the call on hold. He told me who it was. He said, "Man, so and so on the phone. Man, he sounded like he crying. Like he crying." I'm like, "We'll put it through." Obviously, put it through. And it was one of my drivers who was driving for Office Depot, and he was crying. I mean, when I'm telling you, this is a grown man, stocky, nice sized grown man, a manly man. And he's struggling to tell me this story. He had got a call from his child's school. It was recess. Even me just telling this story, because the emotions, I'm reliving the way he was, like it was sad. It was recess, right? At his child's school. The school called while the kids were out for recess. A car jumped the curb, crashed through the chain link gate, went into the playground, and mowed some kids down. His daughter happened to be one of them, and she passed, right? He's telling me this story because the school obviously called him and told him what was going on, his baby mama, his wife, or whatever the situation was at the time. So he's driving back to the yard, frantic. So I'm talking to him on the phone. I'm trying to calm him down as best as I can because obviously the route is abandoned now. He's way in the northwest suburb. He's trying to get back to the south side of Chicago, where my yard is at, right? Rightfully so. Rightfully so. What we're doing right now is I'm giving you the scenario from Mark, the person, the human, and then Mark, the business owner. And then I'm going to bring in the third party, which was the logistics company. Follow me. He's driving back. I don't have to ask, is he on his way back to the yard? It's common sense, right? So he's driving back. He's barely can talk. I'm talking him the whole way through it because I still have to think from a business perspective. I need this truck to get back in one piece. I need him to get back in one piece. I don't want anything to happen because I can't even react or mimic how he was talking because it was like what he was saying, it wasn't, he was choked up. He couldn't talk. I talked him back to the yard. I consoled him. When he got back to the yard, now the person that I'm hearing on the phone that's completely torn, I'm seeing this person now. This is a day that I will never forget. I've never told this story. This dude is a wreck, bro. His daughter at recess just got mowed down. I'm offering, man, do we need to take you somewhere? Leave your car here, bro. We'll take you Man, it wasn't no talking to that dude. He was gone. I get a call right when he's pretty much leaving out the door. It's a 3PL. Now, the 3PL was privy to what happened because obviously he called them, the dispatcher there, at Dynamics before he called us. When I got on the phone, my brother just already pushed it to me. He didn't want to deal with it. The dispatcher said, man, they knew the situation. They didn't offer any condolences. They didn't say ask how he was doing. They said, did that truck make it back to your yard yet? I said, yeah, he's here. They said, you gonna have somebody else finish that route? I said, well, I get what you're saying, but right now my main priority is the well-being of my employee. That's when the dispatcher said, my bad, you know what? You're right. Give us a call back when you get that settled and let us know how we gonna get this route finished for today. It was until I said, listen, my main priority is the well-being because I'm dealing with literally he's walking damn near out the door at that moment. So I have to make sure he's good. I don't want him to run out of here. And because I'm looking at him, I'm seeing him, me, Mark the individual, a person who works for my company, who brings revenue in for my company. The story within itself, the story right now, telling this story, there's a reason why I never told this story. I'm not going to just tell stories of my career in this industry just to be telling that shit just for content and for theatrical purpose if it doesn't resonate with what the topic is. It's time to tell this story now because it's just what we're talking about. Yes, your little baby girl getting mowed down while at school on recess. Dynamics didn't give two shits about that. If I wouldn't have said, well, yo, this is my priority, his well-being first, for him to be like, oh yeah, you know what? Oh man, yeah, you right. Because the only thing he cared about was his supervisor on him about why is that route? Why is one of Mark's route? We don't see the rabbit. The drop-offs ain't coming through the rabbit. This is back in the day when you worked for a 3PL, when you was running freight from a 3PL, they would assign you rabbits. Texas Instruments made them. And you had to pay $50 a month or whatever the fee was, and that's how you scanned the shit, and then that's how it communicated back with the 3PL. His human side had to kick in. At the end of the day, the only thing they were concerned about was that freight. Not the individual that's delivering the freight, not his baby girl that just lost her life while at school on recess in the goddamn playground. Business doesn't care. So you think me saying, oh, F them kids is one thing. What you think about that? And it wasn't me. Guess what? That truck sat there. You think I gave a fuck what Dynamics felt? My day was ruined. You think I'm finna replace that? That truck sat right there. I didn't try to get that route fulfilled. My day was done at that point. Mentally, obviously, I still had to run everything else that was going on. But that truck, I just let it sit there. I said, I'll worry about that tomorrow. The time that I'm going to invest into that particular route, I'd rather invest that into helping this guy. I never heard back from him until a week later. He just never answered the phone. I didn't hear back from him until it was payday. He didn't even come get his check. We ended up having to mail it to him. And the reason I heard from him on payday is because I reached out to him. He wasn't thinking about that check. The next day, I ran the route, and whoever the next in line was to get an opportunity with that account is who I put on that truck. The truck didn't just sit there forever because I can't wait on his situation. I know his situation is present. I know he's going through it. I know what the situation is. But that truck got freight on it from the previous day, right? Because the route was abandoned because of these circumstances. But I can't wait to see, because I know this process. This ain't a 1 week recovery. This is a father that's got to bury his little bitty daughter. He's got to plan the funeral. He's got to grieve. I don't know how long the grieving process is going to take. Why? I've never been through that. But I'm smart enough to know, and I've lost enough people in my life, my personal life, that mean a lot to me, that I know from a father and a daughter perspective, that grieving process is not something where I'm going to hold this route for him to come back. There's too much uncertainty. So as the business part, the next day, I had to move forward. Dynamics was trying to move forward in the moment. They didn't give a fuck about none of that shit. That dude called and said, man, what you gonna do to recover this route? If I wouldn't have been like, yo, my priority is first right now is making sure he's straight, for him, the dispatcher to be like, oh, for him to come back human. You right. Well, give us a call when you figure it out. That's the difference between compassion and business. That dispatcher's, from a business perspective, he's dispatching for a business. The business don't care. The consumers, the stops, 40, 50, I don't know how many stops were left on that truck at that particular time. This is 40, 50 consumers, customers that are expecting a delivery. They've gotten an email that says their delivery is out for delivery, and they'll see it by 5 p.m. today. Somebody's going to have to call them, or someone's going to have to pick up the phone at the end of the day when that delivery email that they got in the earlier part of the day never arrived at their doorstep. Somebody's going to have to explain that, and it may cost. From a business perspective, Mark, I got to run that truck. I can't wait on him. I don't know when he's coming back. If he's coming back, he never came back. Why? Probably too much emotional attachments. The job that you're working is the who wants to come back to a job when they got a call that their daughter was just mowed down? He's not coming back, because every time he gets in that truck, he's gonna relive that moment, because this is the truck that he was in when he got the call. I'm not a mind reader. I can't see the future. So I had to use my common sense and say, look, we can't wait. I'm going to give this route to somebody else. If he ever does come back, or when he comes back, I'm going to have to find something else for him to do. So you get mad at me when I say it from an analogy perspective. Well, here is a real story. And I'm giving it to you from me, Mark, the person, the human, and how the human responded, And then I'm giving it to you from the business side of market. And then I'm also giving you from the third party. How they respond, they ain't give two fucks. I showed enough compassion that I let that truck sit for the rest of the day. I didn't give a fuck what they was talking about. I got 8 other trucks running. Y'all need me. I got 8 other trucks running the same contract for y'all. So it's clear y'all need me. So I'm going to let this truck sit for the day. There's no such thing as compassion as a business owner. That's a fairy tale. The market don't care that you got divorced. It don't care that, your truck caught on fire. It don't care if your competitor's truck caught on fire. The business world will run you over if you sit around crying and moping and complaining and caring about shit that's not directly related to business. The like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. It just doesn't care. This happened, this situation was 2015, 2016, let's say 10 years ago. In today's society, if something like that happened, oh my God. We're in a society today where softness is celebrated. Everybody is a goddamn victim. Everybody gets a trophy. Like, you can't even have contests now where, there's a true winner. Like, we got to find a way to give everybody a goddamn trophy. First place trophy, second place trophy, third place trophy, fourth place trophy, runner-up trophy, honorable mention trophy, good sportsmanship trophy, good effort trophy. Everybody that competes, if there's a contest and it's 10 people competing, everybody gonna walk away with some type of trophy. They're gonna find some way to give 4th through 10th some type of emotional, attached, connected trophy. Nah, you lost. Do better next time. Work harder. Back in my day, there was no 4th place trophy, 5th place, honorable mention, good effort, way to go trophy. You lost. Like, in business, there's no such thing as a participation trophy. You're not going to succeed in business just for participating in it. And that's where a lot of people got the game messed up. You see that a lot on the call-in show. A lot of people think that just because they started a business, a box truck business, a trucking business, that they're going to succeed. I know they favorite content creator told them that they was, but it's cap, it's fool. You not getting no participation trophy. Just because you in the game, I'm going to start a business, so I'm finna run up the bag. I'm finna start a business, so I'm finna run up this bag. Cap. You probably better off working the job because you ain't got it in you. You ain't no dog. You a part of the goddamn it work-life balance. You grew up in the Braun era. You didn't grow up in the Jordan era. Jordan was taking heads off. We was kicking ass and taking names. You grew up in LeBron era, crying and shit. I'm not from this era. Ain't no such thing as no participation. You either win or you lose. You either win or you lose. And guess what? Whether you win or whether you lose, I'm going to tell you one thing. The world going to move on. With you or without you. Nobody cares. The problem is a lot of people think people care. And I keep telling people, man, no, nobody care. So why should I? I'm going to go get it. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. I don't care about what you got going on. None of that shit. I tell you all the time, my feelings went away 20 years ago. I lost my feelings and my compassion and my wokeness or whatever this shit is called that they calling it in today's society. I lost that shit 20 years ago. Once I realized that the world was a harsh, cold place and nobody cared and nobody was coming to save me, I realized, man, go get it. Ain't nobody coming to save you. Don't nobody care about your feelings. Don't none of that shit, bro. Don't nobody care. Everybody knows somebody that done lost some shit and they didn't care. I didn't give plenty of analogies thus far in this live stream from a business perspective. Don't pay your mortgage and let me know how the bank handles you. Don't pay your car note. Don't pay your rent. See if the goddamn landlord don't go down to the clerk's office and file a motion to evict your punk ass. Let me know how that work out, that he cares or she cares that you lost your job or not. Nobody cares. This softness, it leads people to quit when shit gets too hard. Or they do what? They blame other people for their failures. We see that a lot in social media. Especially in this trucking shit. Me and Kurt, we just reacted to the chick a few weeks ago, crying and shit on the internet, bawling tears, crying, because the shit ain't going her way. I'm going to get into the women in a minute. Don't worry about it. Ooh, the women. If you can't handle criticism, if you can't handle rejection, if you can't handle the brutal ups and downs that come along with building something from scratch, then business is not for you. It's not. All these things that I just named, if you can't handle in business, is not for you, because all these things you have to go through, because this is what builds the character in a strong business. All this shit that I just named is what built me today. How I can sit here and tell you, man, fuck your feeling, nigga. I don't give a fuck about that lady 3 years or 2 years ago that came up on my live stream that said, man, Mark, so you mean to tell me if my son, because I'm starting this box truck business for my son, and you mean to tell me that if you was competing against my son at a 3PL, because I want him to do final mount too, you mean to tell me you would take advantage of him being a novice? I said, absolutely. I don't care if you a subscriber or not. Well, I'm going to sit here and lie to you. If he's in my way, I got to get him gone. He in my way. If he's in my way and I see he's weak and there's an opportunity there and he's not taking advantage of it and I see he's full, I'm going to go ahead and get him gone. Man, I can't subscribe to your channel no more because this is not what I want for my son. Like, well, beat it. She unsubscribed. I ain't heard from her since. She 9.5 times out of 10, she's not around. Well, I'm supposed to like care? This is business. He's in the way. Listen, it's either you on this side or you on that side. Now, if you on this side, then we can rock. But if you on that side, then God bless you. I'm coming to get it. If you see me, get out my way. If you ain't one of them strong ones that can stand on your own, get out. Just go ahead and step to the side, pimp. Cause when we come, we coming. We stepping on shit. I mean that. I'm gonna do whatever it takes. I don't care how you feel. It's business. It's not personal. Personal, I'm the nicest person in the world. Personally, I'm not. I'm the nicest person in the world. All this shit, the criticism, the rejection, the ups and downs is what builds the character in a strong, shrewd business person. You don't know what it's like to not get paid. I told a story to a guy in the Discord, in the VIP chat last week, in the VIP meeting last week in the Discord. I forgot what brought it up, but he was saying something. I gave him an example. I said, bro, and I've told this story before. I remember when this company didn't pay me for 2-3 settlement periods. Did I stop sending trucks? No, I kept sending trucks. What did I tell my workers? I didn't tell them shit. Why? Because at the end of the day, What do they care? They don't care about my plight because the 3PL didn't pay me. They work for me, not the 3PL. Mark, you know what they would have said if I was saying, well, I can't pay y'all because they didn't pay me. Man, Mark, we don't work for them. We work for you. So that situation, it built me. Getting dropped from Grange. Didn't complain. That shit built me. That 1 year we had to deal with Progressive. My broker said, look, man, Grange ain't gonna pick you up because of the claim with that awning. It's last minute. I ain't got enough time to shop. You're gonna have to go Progressive for a year. You're gonna have to. Stick it out for a year. 60 days prior to the renewal, I'm gonna start shopping. I'm gonna get you out of there, but you're gonna have to deal with it. I had to deal with it. That built me. The first 26 footer that got roofed, that built me. 3PL's trying to solicit my drivers, built me. This ain't shit that we complain about. This is what shit we had to stand on, what we stood on to make shit happen and get through whatever it was we was going through at the time to persevere. A lot of the motherfuckers that's out here today, motherfucker, tear a roof off your truck. I had a guy in my Discord not too long ago. He had a little minor infraction in his roof. Man, my shit was peeled back like a goddamn sardine can. Man, I had an employee, I just told you, that daughter got killed while he was on a route. I've had people in my business get into it with people in my business, and I'm wondering why. I'm looking at a whole set just slowly start pulling up. I'm recognizing something. Man, all these guys from over there, they from so-and-so. What they doing up here? Oh, lo and behold, these motherfuckers up here, they ain't got called up here to move on somebody. All this shit that I've been through in business, in Chicago, in the moving and final mile business, this shit, a lot of people wouldn't be able to hack it. This ain't the shit that you cry about. This is the shit that builds you. This is the shit that makes you stronger. You want to win in business? Get tougher. If you want to win in business, get tougher. Oh, I got to respond to a text message. You want to win in business? Get tougher. Stop being soft. Stop looking for sympathy. Business and this business world is not your therapist. I'm not your therapist. I'm not like your favorite content creators that's going to tell you everything you want to hear in that nice monotone voice with the soft music and shit playing in the background because they want you to buy into whatever it is that they selling. And they want you to like them. A lot of your favorite content creators, some of them I think really know the real. I think 3 years ago they didn't know the real, but they know the real now. But the reason they won't, one is because they don't want to tell you what they really need to tell you, right? Because they don't want you to dislike them because they care. I don't give a fuck. I'm not your therapist. I'm only here to tell you my experiences and tell you the real and correlate my experiences with whatever it is that you're going through to ultimately help you be successful. In business, not in trucking. See, trucking is easy. The problem is a lot of people don't understand business. If you understand business, you can ultimately be successful in any business that you start. The problem is a lot of people don't understand business. You try to start a trucking business, but you don't understand business. Cost. We still talking about cost. Let's fast forward, man. Let's get into women. Trucking. I'm only speaking in trucking. It's male dominated in trucking. Now, I talk to women in trucking. We recently saw one. I'm gonna pull her up too, just so that you can have an example of what we're talking about. Based on everything that I've said thus far, we know out of the species of humans, male and female, women are the most emotional. People say women can be just as good as men, and they can be. True. But here's the catch. The business world is not equal opportunity when it comes to feelings. Now, don't let that go over your head now. See, in business is not equal opportunity. It's just business. Remember, business doesn't have feelings. It only cares about making money. So women, because I talk to a lot of, when you come into my DM, I got a woman who is in my Discord, my fleet operators group in my Discord. I see women on the internet. I've had interactions with women in the chat. But let's keep it a buck. In business, it's not equal opportunity when it comes to feelings. I'm going to do you the same way I do these guys. Because I'm not looking at you from a female. I'm not looking at you as a female and him as a male. I'm looking at it's your business. See, it's not me versus you. It's your business versus my business. It's not me versus you. So when I pulled up this comment earlier from this lady, she's talking about compassion. I don't give a fuck about compassion when it comes to business. And that's why I responded. Me personally, I am compassionate, but at the end of the day, I'm a slave for the business. I'm a slave. Listen, if you are starting a business, you become a slave for your business. You meet the needs of the business don't meet the needs of you. If the business say jump, you gonna say how high. If the business say you can't sleep, it's still work to do. Guess what? You're gonna be working. If the business say, man, it's money on the table, what you gonna do? I'm gonna go get it. I have to meet the needs of the business. The business don't meet the needs of me. The business don't give a fuck about me. The business only cares about what I can do to make the business better. That's why I just, bro, when I be hearing people, bro, especially, I don't get upset, bro. Fuck it, bro. These real talk conversations, bro, it's crazy to me because I don't understand what people expect out of business. Like, I don't understand why people think business is supposed to just hand you some shit. I don't get it, bro. Business is going to test you. It will break you if you're weak. It's going to expose your weaknesses. A lot of people allow business to expose their weaknesses. You can't be weak. I've given you stories. In this live stream alone, I've given you some stories. It's not for the weak. Women who bring the same, how do I want to say this, bro? Women who bring the same emotional expectations from other parts of life into this industry, you will fail. You're gonna fail. You're gonna end up just like this lady right here. You're gonna end up just like this lady.
Out of here.
You're gonna end up just like this lady.
I am so upset right now. Like,
That's one of your girls, Mark.
I've worked so fucking hard.
Your trucker buddy,
weeks, bro.
Ain't one of my
I
chicks.
did not complain.
Huh?
I don't know her.
I've busted my ass these past 2 weeks, bro. These past 3 weeks, I worked so fucking hard, bro. Like, I don't even want to do this shit no more. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I don't even want to be a truck driver, bro. This shit is so frustrating. I busted my ass, bro. When I tell y'all I've been driving 10 hours, 12 hours, I've been driving long ass hours, bro.
And see, I don't care. I'm just gonna laugh at you. Because guess what? You're not doing anything else, young ladies, that men don't do. This is the industry that you want to come in. You have to drive 10 hours. The men drive 10 hours. So why are you crying but the men ain't? I don't understand it. It's nothing but emotions right here. She said she's been driving 10 hours, bro. This girl is in tears. She's in tears, bro. She said this was the toughest 2 weeks of her life. 2 weeks. She drove 10 hours, bro.
She emotional.
We're going to talk about, hold on.
Just for my mentor not to sign my paper for what reason, I don't even fucking know, bro. And it fucking sucks because I've been nothing but nice to this man, and this man just treated me like shit for no.
Man, nobody give a fuck about that nice shit, bro. Listen, she said she's been nice to this man and he's just not nice back and this, that, and the third. Nobody cares, bro. Everybody want, like, bro, don't nobody care about that shit, bro. Fuck you talking about? Motherfuckers want shit done. Motherfuckers do not give a fuck about yo nothing. Motherfuckers want shit done, bro. Like, man, bro, see all this emotional shit, bro?
That's what I'm telling you,
bro. I did nothing to this man, bro. And my feelings are so hurt right now.
Her feelings are hurt. Her feelings are fucking hurt, bro. She on the internet complaining that her feelings are hurt, that it's hard. Her dispatcher is just not nice. She's so nice, but her feelings are hurt. She said, my feelings are so hurt, bro. Women, listen. This is your segment of this live stream. That soft shit, that shit don't mean nothing. Once you come into business, it is what it is. You're competing on the same competitive landscape like men. So that emotional, extra emotion that you're born with, that we're not, you're going to have to lose that. Because I'm going to keep it a buck with you. A nigga like me, I'm going to prey on that shit. I don't give a fuck. Oh, you weak, you sweet, you an easy lick. You easier than a guy. I'm finna really get you up out the way quick. I'm gonna take all your food because it's business. Why are you crying for that you had to drive 10 hours? Why are you crying that a dispatcher is not nice to you? I've never known a dispatcher at a 3PL that I've had to talk to on the phone to be pleasant. It's always direct in a monotone voice, and they never say bye, they just hang up. Like, nobody gives a fuck about this nice shit. People just want shit done. That's it. It's not personal. It's not personal. Young ladies, listen to me. It's not personal. It's only business. If you don't understand that, you will 100% get taken advantage of. You will get chewed up and you will get spit out. I'm going to talk about the young lady in my Discord. She cried. I made her cry because I told her the real. And she just started crying, bro. And I'm like, why are you crying for? I'm telling you, listen, I'm not the content creator. I don't care if you come into my Discord. I'm not going to kiss your ass. I'm going to still tell you the real. I told her, yo, it's going to be harder for you. I said, you want to start a moving company? You can't even move. What do you mean, Mark? I said, you can't do this shit. You can't do it. You're going to have men working that are not going to respect you. Why? Because you can't get out there and do it, and they're going to know it. I told her this at the very beginning. A lot of shit that I told her has already come into fruition. I said, motherfuckers going to start leaning on you. No, they're not. They're going to lean on me. I said, yeah, they are. You know why they're going to lean on you? Because they can say, fuck this, I'm not going to do it, because they know you can't come out and cover it. See, if you tell me you're not going to do something, if I've exhausted all my resources and you tell me you not going to do something, and I'm going to lean on you, you going to do it. You're not going to play with a man the way they're going to play with a woman. But let's say you get that one person that's like, man, fuck this, I ain't doing it. All right, man, take your punk ass home then. If I can't find nobody else to go cover it for you, then I'm going to get my black ass out there and do it myself. This is what I told her. See, they know you can't do that. She didn't understand. She got two guys working for her. One is a worker and one is a brother. The very next week, who you think the person that leaned on her? Everything I told her was going to happen as far as the leaning, it took a week. Who do you think it was? The first two workers was guys she knew and her brother. Who do you think was the person that linked on her? It only took a week. Home brother. This is a woman that's in my Discord right now, top tier. Brother came to her and said, look, he went out there, he worked for 1 week, he came back, he said, man, I ain't doing shit unless you pay me $50 an hour. She was crying. You know why? Because I rubbed it in her face. I said, I told you this was what's going to happen. See, it's like boot camp when you come to Big Mark. See, I'm not with all the soft shit because I told her it was going to happen. Now, I didn't know it was going to happen so quickly, and I didn't expect it to be from her own family. But I know this industry. You got a man that's out there lifting and carrying and going upstairs with heavy shit, and you just telling them what and what not to do, and eventually they're going to get smart. Listen, she can't come out here and do this. You making money. They're going to say shit like, you making money off my back. See, they can't say that shit with a man because 9 times out of 10, a man started where? On the truck. He built the business. He built the business right alongside those early employees before he worked his way up and scaled his way up out into the office. So they can never throw in that man's face like, oh, well, you ain't out here. Because they knew once upon a time you were out there. You built it to the point where they can be out there. See, with that woman, they're going to lean on. She cried. Well, what am I going to do? I said, what you going to have to do? You have to pay him. I said, what you mean what you going to do? You want the shit to keep going? You're going to have to pay him. Who else you got? You can't go out there and do the shit. I told you this was going to happen. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you how to build, scale, and, maneuver and this without telling you the real. You're going to have it harder than any man in this industry. So you have to be more ruthless. And in order to be more ruthless, to be more cold, to be more shrewd, that emotion that you're born with, right? As a woman that you hold more than a man. Now, it's a man out here that's really emotional. We've seen that. We've seen that on the call-in show. We've seen that on some of my live streams. Some emotional men. But women are naturally just have this abundance of emotion. As you see in this clip right here, this lady crying because her dispatcher was just so mean to her and she's been so nice and She had to drive 10 hours. And like the lady in my Discord, women, it's trucking. You're a competitor. You're not any different than a man. It's what it is. Lose the emotion or get eaten up and get taken advantage of. Just like that lady got taken advantage of, just like the lady that's in my Discord that got taken advantage of by our own sibling. Nobody cares. You fooled. You fooled from your competitor. You fooled from your own employee. If your employee sees weakness, they will take advantage of you. You know how many people come to me because they're having employee issues? What was the main thing when Rob came up on the show for all my old school people who've been watching the channel? When one of my old employees came up on the show, what was one of the main things he learned from me when he started his own thing to get people in line? You play with people's money. Now, that don't mean don't pay them. When I say play with people's money, I take them off the schedule. I let them think about it. Why? Because this job is covering your cost of living. It's taking care of your household. And guess what? Now I'm going to take that away from you for a week. Asmonroe, he didn't say that. He said I play with their money. So now I cut your lifeline off for a week. I cut your water off. Now what you gonna do? Can a woman do that? A woman gonna think about, man, his family, his kids, the well-being of his family. I don't give a fuck about that shit. What Rob say? He said, one thing I learned from you, Mark, I learned everything from you, but one thing, when people started to fuck up, I said, man, one thing you used to do, play with our money. Yeah, I'm going to take you off the schedule. I'm going to give you a week to think about it. And depend on how I feel in a week, I might give you another week. Can you do that, woman? Probably not. For all the reasons I just stated. You're going to care about certain shit that I just don't care about. Why? Because you stepped outside your boundaries. Whatever you did, it was enough for me to take you off the schedule. Man, Mark, why would you do that to some people? Why would you do that? Because I know what to do to get people in line. A lot of people, it's a man that wouldn't be able to do that. Not because they will be worried about the family, it's because they ain't plugged enough to do that. They're not bold enough. They're not strong enough to do that. Because there may be repercussions that may come behind that. So for like the same reason she's crying, or the same reason the young lady that's in my Discord that has issues like that I told her she was going to have, the reason people do this shit with them is because they know they can get away with it. You have to be ruthless. And the tougher the business is, the more ruthless you have to be. You can't cry like this lady because a dispatcher is not, his tonality is not what you expect it to be. Or someone's talking down on you because you looking for validation or, whatever the case may be, like, bro, like, people at the top, us people that are at the top, sharks, wolves, animals, predators. We smell it. When that young lady in the Discord started crying, I knew she was going to cry. Some people knew, like, but I needed her to get that shit up out of her. I purposely was trying to break her because she had the same goofy ass mentality coming in thinking shit sweet, and it's not. I purposely, and this wasn't private, it was people in those sessions. And they can attest. I was doing everything to break her purposely. I was trying to break her spirit purposely. Why? Because she needed to unlearn that dumb shit and relearn this shit that I'm talking about right here. And it only took a week for her to see the first lesson that I was preaching to her, and it came from her own family. This is not, and this is just the women's segment. Can't do it. You can do it. But you're going to have to lose that emotion. You got to understand the landscape that you playing in. You chose it. So deal with it. It's plenty of guys like me out there that don't give a fuck about all that shit that you know, the women that's winning in trucking is the women that's making money outside of trucking. Like your women that be shaking ass in the truck on TikTok. They ranked the top trucking influencers, like 1 through 100. Big Mark was ranked. I didn't even think I was going to be ranked. I came in late. Came in like 80. The top 10, except for one, was women. So with me saying all this shit, when they ranked the top 100 trucking influencers, the top 10, 9 of them were women. But these are women shaking ass. They got OnlyFans. They're beautiful women. These aren't the women that you would expect to be in trucking. These are either social media content trucking plants that just drive for content, or they're OnlyFans. These women have 1 million plus followers. They all are good looking. They're not your typical trucking chick that you expect to be driving a truck with their head tied with a scarf and, just rough around the edges. These are all like vixen type chicks. Those are the guys that are taking advantage of the men. Why? Because those are the men that are wanting to fulfill a fantasy while they in truck with this trucking woman and they subscribing to their OnlyFans. They're paying money and they checking the bag indirectly off of trucking based on content centered around trucking. So these women get it. And that's why they're ranked so high. And that's why they checking the bag. But the woman that may not be as good looking, that can't sell, an image on Instagram, that has to just drive the truck and just do the trucking shit, you can't be the woman that gets taken advantage of based on your feeling. You have to figure out a way to be aggressive and be able to compete in a landscape that's fully dominated, or that's, I should say, not fully dominated, but that's dominated by men. Same goes for guys. A lot of guys feel because they're emotional, but the culture, the emotional culture of support and validation for women is totally different. That's why this lady is fucking crying. She wants support. She wants that validation. She wants someone to say, you're doing a good job. You drove 10 hours. Man, I know it was hard, but just keep going at it. Man, ain't nobody finna come do that shit for you, ladies. Nobody's gonna come do that because nobody gave me any support. I got more hate. Ain't nobody gonna support you for doing what you wanted to do in the first place, your job. You need to be cold. You need to be more shrewd. Now let's talk about being human versus being soft. I'm not saying be a robot. You can still be a good person. I'm a good person. The people that know me in real life, from a business perspective and from, just outside of business, they'll tell you, Mark, good person. If he fuck with you, he fuck with you. I give you the shirt off my back. I'm riding. I'm gonna ride. Pause. In business, I'm a totally different person. It's a line drawn in the sand. Either you with me or you against me. I don't look at people the same way from a business perspective the way that I do in life. If I'm going to the grocery store and I see someone that's begging and I got a couple dollars in my pocket, because I don't carry cash. So if I have some cash in my pocket, whatever, I'll give it to them. In business, I ain't giving you shit. Matter of fact, whatever you got, I'm coming to take it. I'm coming to take what you got in business. I'm the complete opposite. Well, it's enough money for everybody. No, it ain't, because I need all of it. I need as much as possible. Tomorrow ain't promised, and I don't know what tomorrow holds or presents. I've lived enough life to know, plan for the unexpected. So if opportunity exists today and it's paying, I need that because I might need these extras tomorrow. Treat people good. Treat people good. Help people. But when it comes to making decisions for your business, you have to learn how to separate the two. If you cannot separate the two, I promise you, you are not going to last. You're going to get it taken advantage of from everybody. Your employees, the 3PLs, the dispatchers, the brokers. Like, I don't understand, like, why. Like, when I hear people say things and they place the blame and they feel, like, for instance, I be getting, like, when I see people, let me use this. This is a good analogy. When people say, "Oh, well, let's just stop taking the loads because they can't do it without us." Let's even zero in further. Let's zero in with Amazon. Because I used to purposely, like, talk about Amazon because people used to get so upset, like content creators, people in the comments that was running Amazon. And I used to always say, Amazon don't give a fuck about you. But people always, I don't understand, bro, but I see shit when people say shit like, man, let's just stop running loads because they can't do it without us. Why y'all think people can't do shit without you? I recently seen somebody say, man, they can't do it without us. Says who? That's just like you saying you can't do something without somebody else. Would you say some shit like that? I'm not never finna say, yo, man, I need you. I need you. If I'm in a landscape and I'm trying to claw my way to the top, I gotta make shit happen. I gotta make shit move. I was talking to Moving Company Hustle yesterday in the Discord, and a lot of the shit that a lot of business owners would struggle with today, which is employment, he told me a solution that somebody else gave him to help kind of beat it. You know, everybody struggles with employment today. So he said, man, you know what we do? We hire people. We have like tiers of people, but we also have a tier where we'll hire like people who only looking to work maybe 2 or 3 days out of the month. And these guys have professional careers. He was like, I have a police officer who works maybe 2 or 3 days a month. He has like, I got a firefighter. He said he had I forgot whatever he said. He had another professional worker, and these guys only work 2 or 3 times a month because they're just looking for extra money to put kids through school or whatever the case may be. And he says these are some of the best workers because they already come from a professional landscape. They come to work, they do their job, and they go home. But this is something that as a business owner who's still trying to survive in today's time with the mindset of people not wanting to work, had to think smart and figure something out. 10, 15 years ago, I would have never thought about hiring someone that can only work 2 or 3 days a week because we were in a different time period where that shit just didn't even make sense. But today you have to adapt. So when people say, man, we can't do it, man, we've stopped running these lows. These brokers ain't going to have no choice. If we stop running these lows on the Amazon board, man, Amazon going to have to, man, no the fuck they not, bro. Somebody else going to do that shit. I just hate to be the person to tell you. Somebody else going to do that shit, and then guess what? If don't nobody do that shit, I swear for God, a company like Amazon that's working with about a 5T, a 5 ticket, they're just going to go and continue to buy more trucks, and history going to repeat itself. We're going to go back to the 90s and the 80s, and then these companies are just going to run their own fleet. It's just going to be a history repeating itself thing. A company like that is not going to let you stop their motion. Put yourself in the equation. So when people say this dumb shit, and these are supposed to be business owners, when I hear viewers say this shit, that's one thing. When I hear content creators say this shit, this is a whole, bro, as a business person, would you say some shit if it was your business? Well, man, I'm just gonna, if they just don't come, we just gonna fail. No. So what makes you think a company that's worth $5 trillion is gonna fail if you just kumbaya and say, no, we're not gonna do it? They're gonna adapt and they're gonna get you up out the way. They're showing you currently, but you just too blind and you too ignorant to see, listen, we don't need you. We're going to get you up out the way. Eventually, they doing it currently. They're buying more robots, autonomous trucks, so on and so forth. There can be a debate on will it, as far as the autonomous trucks completely come into fruition or not, but every single day you have fully autonomous warehouses. That's just like a person who's working in a warehouse 15, 20 years ago saying, man, they're going to always need us to pick these orders. No, they showed you that they don't. You got AI in the mix now. That's replacing a lot of people. Like, nobody needs you. That's just like, if I would never let a person tell me, matter of fact, I had a person tell me that shit, and I showed him real quick, man, fuck, I don't need you. Man, we making you rich. You ain't making me shit. I made me to this point where I can give you an opportunity. I'm giving you an opportunity. You ain't giving me shit. If I wouldn't have put myself in this position to be able to give you an opportunity, you wouldn't even have the opportunity because nobody else gave your punk ass an opportunity because you got too many exes. You know what motherfucker did? Put his head down. Yeah, nigga, don't piss me off. I'm going to give you a week to think about it. Because guess what? If you don't want to conform, if you don't want to follow directions, if you don't want to play ball, guess what? It's plenty of other brothers that will. What you mean? That's the most ignorant shit that a person could say, especially a content creator. Are you paying attention to what the fuck is going on right now? Let me tell you something. And I stand on this shit. And if I'm creating content in another 5 to 10 years, I'm gonna rub it in your face. I'm gonna tell you I told you so, because I know y'all hate when I do that shit. In 5 to 10 years, and I was talking about this in the Discord yesterday, and Moving Company Hustle said, man, you're right. And I'm surprised a lot of other people ain't talking about it because they too far behind. And this is why they can't get. In 5 to 10 years, having a job is going to be a privilege. Don't let that go over your head. I've said it a few times. In 5 to 10 years, having a job is going to be a privilege. It's going to be a privilege. Keep playing. Keep thinking somebody owe you something. Keep thinking you can kumbaya and hold the line and companies ain't going to adjust and adapt. The same thing you should be doing, but you want to sit here and be in your feelings and cry and complain. No. See, companies that know how to win, like your Amazons and your Microsofts and your Apples, they just adjust and they move on. They're not in their feelings. They don't care about your personal plight. If you don't want to do it, don't worry about it. We'll invest money into AI. We'll invest money into robotics. And we'll just keep moving. Like, you're not going to stop no motion. I hate it when I hear supposedly business people say this dumbass shit. You going to let somebody stop your motion? But you going to sit up there and say, oh, well, they can't do it. Man, they're not going to let you stop their motion. Why would a company that's worth trillions of dollars allow a box trucker to stop their motion? Listen to how stupid that shit sounds. So when you say that shit again, just remember I'm the one who said that shit sounds stupid. If you were worth a T, 1 trillion, 2 trillion, 3 trillion, 4 trillion, 5 trillion, would you let a goddamn box trucker stop your motion? You got to be a goddamn fool. And if you allow anybody to stop your motion, even not from a T perspective, and not from a B perspective, not from $1 million perspective, even if you are a 4-figure thousandaire, if you have the mindset where you allow somebody to come in and stop your motion, or you even utter these fucking words out your mouth, the line is drawn in the sand. You not with me. You on that other side. You the guys that we take advantage of. I'm not on your side. We are not the same. We can't be on the same team. I don't want to hang with you. I don't want to know you. Don't contact me. Don't watch me, because we are not the same individual. You better die trying when it comes to business. Ain't nobody, I'm not going to allow nobody to stop my motion. Oh, I'm going to die trying. I will never utter those words. Fuck we talking about, bro? And then you wonder why you failing. And then you wonder why you got misled. These are the people saying it. The people you watch say this stupid ass shit. I don't understand this shit, bro. Like, ain't nobody that's strong, that's at the top, gonna let you stop no motion. It's people in the street. Let's go to a street perspective. It's 2 blocks, it's 4 blocks. It's a cluster of 4 blocks. You got these 2 blocks, they got them 2 blocks. You making money on these 2 blocks, they making money on them 2 blocks. The person who's in charge of these 2 blocks, they got the idea, well, we're making $100,000 a day off these 2 blocks. I'm pretty sure they making $100,000. Man, if we go ahead and take them off the map, man, we can go from making $100,000 to $200,000 a day. Now the people that they gunning for, they just not gonna roll over. They gonna fight. They may win, they may lose. But if they lose, they put up a fight. Them 2 blocks didn't just come easy. They just didn't lay down and hand the shit over. I don't understand, bro. When people say some of this shit, bro, It don't make sense to me, bro. I don't get it, bro. The business don't care about your story. Stop using your emotions to excuse bad decisions. Like all this emotional shit, like, bro, is the reason why you make these bad decisions. Learn how to compartmentalize, bro. Learn how to compartmentalize. This whole lecture was about compartmentalizing it, right? Learn how to be compassionate as a person, but a killer as a businessman or a businesswoman or a business owner. Compartmentalize. If you can't compartmentalize and decipher between the two, you're going to struggle, bro. Listen to what you say before it comes out your mouth. If not, you're going to get the same thing you see on a lot of these call-in shows, a lot of these testimonials. Even if it's not on my channel, when people come up to tell their story, shit like this. These types of stories, you're going to get a lot of heartbreak. You're going to get a lot of heartbreak. If you don't have that killer instinct, that killer mentality in business, you setting yourself up for a world of hurt. It's dog eat dog. The soft get eaten. The soft get eaten. What's the takeaways? Business don't have no feelings. It's up to you to decide if you built for this shit or not. You know? If you feel like you don't have that killer instinct, if you know you emotional and you care about a lot of shit, if you know, if I'm on the dock with you, or let's say you on the dock, and the person that's on the dock next to you every morning is struggling. Y'all have conversations while y'all loading. And you know he's going through shit personally at home, and because of the shit at home, he's robbing from the sustainability of business because he's putting that money into the home, and his truck is not doing really well. There's issues that need to be, taken care of on the truck, that he's band-aiding and masking, and you know there's some shit going on at the crib. But it's affecting his work. Let's say the dispatcher or the operations supervisor at the 3PL, they come to you and they pull you to the side like, look, man, I know we talked about, additional opportunity. You mentioned that you want to scale, or, we thinking about giving you Joe's route. You talking about Joe that loads next to me every day at the dock? Yeah, what do you think about that? Well, what about Joe? Well, we'll find something else for Joe. We'll just probably just get rid of him altogether. I mean, he's showing up, but he's not, the productivity is not there like it used to be. What do you do? Now, if you're the person who's going to be compassionate for Joe because you know there's some shit going on at home, business ain't for you. Me, I'm like, fuck Joe. I don't know that nigga. I don't know Joe. I met Joe here on the dock. We chop it up in the morning. Listen, and I'm going to tell you why. Somebody going to be like, man, Mark, that's wrong. I'm going to tell you why it's wrong. After they have the conversation with me and they offer me the opportunity and I pass it because I'm empathetic for Joe, they're going to go to the second person they had in line. And that motherfucker going to take it. So guess what? Shit still going to get taken. Mark is compassionate. My business saying, feed me, feed me, feed me. The insurance company is saying, you know what? When your renewal is up in 3 months, we going up 7%. The property tax, city of Chicago, because dumbass Brandon Johnson and putting us into further debt, trying to hide these people from the government. And he keep going up on that shit. So my property taxes keep going up on my properties. I got to make more money. So do I care about another person's situation when my cost of living is steady rising for things that are beyond my control, or do I take advantage of the opportunity that's presenting itself? Because if I pass on it, the next person ain't. And guess what? If I were in that situation, that person would do, the motherfucker that I got compassion for ain't gonna have compassion for me. Mark, how you know that? Because I tell you, a lot of the shit everything that I talk about, not a lot, have come from life lessons in business. I said, I'm 5 years to 50. I'm 45. I've been in situations where I've looked out for people, and then when I needed something, the same motherfucker that I looked out for, when the situation came around to return the favor, they didn't look out for me. And it don't have to be nothing major. It could be something minimal, minor. I am how I am because of life lessons and business lessons. I'm only going to look out for people that I know will reciprocate in most cases. And those are the people that I keep close to me. I'll do shit for people, but the people that I do shit for that are outside that inner circle, I don't expect shit from. If I hand something to a homeless person on the street, obviously I don't expect shit from them. If I loan you money and you're not in my inner circle, you're an associate, you're not somebody I talk to every day. You don't know where my mama live. I don't know where your mama lives, so on and so forth. But we're associate. When we see each other, we cool, we kick it, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. And you like, man, I'm fucked up. Something happened, blah, 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 blah. Man, can you help me out? Can you loan me $500 so I can do whatever I did? And I loan you that $5, I don't expect it back. I'm giving it to you in the mindset of not expecting it back. And I'm okay with that. I'm only going to give you what I am willing to give you without you paying me back and pissing me off. I had a guy that I loaned money to in 2019. He just paid me back this year. Out of the blue, I get a random Zelle. You know why he paid me back? I ain't heard from him since then, because he need me. The money I gave him was for a gas bill or a light bill. He's fucked up. This a motherfucker that done got PPP. He got all type of shit. During the pandemic, motherfucker was running it up. He didn't think about me. He didn't think about me until he needed me again. But before he could come to me and ask me for favor, he knew he had to run that bread back. And guess what? When he ran that bread back and then he came to me for that favor, I said no. I told him he should have kept the money. Well, why? Because that 5 or 6 years I didn't hear from your ass, I was cool with it. See, as long as you owe me, I ain't got to worry about you asking me for shit again. You one less person I got to worry about begging for some shit. The reason I am the way I am in business is from life, growing to be this old, lessons that I learned in life, and business lessons. Life can be your best teacher. A lot of people can't deal with that. The ups and downs in life. If you're a person who can't deal with the ups and downs in life and you get emotional based off curveballs being thrown at you in life, what makes you think you're going to be able to handle business? Because now you're in business and the business has to suffice to a point where it can cover itself and pay you enough to cover your cost of living. If you're going to get emotional and you're going to be emotionally attached and you can't handle the ups and the downs, you shouldn't do it. Get out your feelings and get in the game. The choice is yours. But every day is going to be an individual like me that's out there that you competing against that's not going to get cared to. I don't care. I'm telling you this. The business part of the business mark, I don't care, bro. I'm gonna take if I'm that guy in that scenario that I gave you on the dock, and you present the operations supervisor presented me, I'm gonna take it. You know why? Because I done did it already. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna listen. I don't, bro. All I know is Monday through Friday on the dot when we talk. You gonna tell me all your business. I don't care if you tell me all your business. You told me that shit. I feel for you, but this business telling me, man, go ahead and get that about you, pimp. This Real Talk episode 2. I'm Mark the Mentor. I'm out.